Hey, soul family. Welcome back to the Hazel and Mia podcast. We're so happy that you could join us today. Today, we are talking about something that every single one of us has faced or is facing right now: heartbreak, hardship, the kind of pain that makes you question everything. And we're asking the question that sounds almost crazy at first: why would we choose this? If we really did agree to our soul path before we were born, why on earth would we sign up for betrayal, loss, illnesses, or even loneliness? Stick with us, because by the end of this, you might see your hardest season very differently. Are you ready, Hazel?
I'm ready.
Okay.
What I also want to say, guys, is behind every negative, there's always a positive. You need to keep that in your mind. Everybody goes through hardships, some more than others, but that's what makes us. That's
Absolutely.
what people we are.
Absolutely. How would you know a positive if you hadn't experienced the negative?
Yeah, yeah.
So let's just lay our theory out there, because many spiritual traditions, from ancient Eastern philosophies to modern channelers and channeled materials, suggest that before we incarnate, before we are born, our souls gather with our guides and even other souls that will meet here. We think of it like a curriculum. You choose the themes that you want to master: love, forgiveness, courage, surrender.
And this is why this is going to be good, because I don't have the same outlook on Mia with this.
This is true, because we come in with our own theories. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine it this way, that everything is just paradise before we come into our bodies. And it's just so boring because everything is perfect. We don't feel hunger, we don't feel pain, and we get bored.
Yeah.
And the way you can explain something like this is look at the billionaires and the millionaires in the world today. They have so much money that they don't know what to do with it.
No. But
And they're bored.
And you know the crazy thing? They are the people that hold on to their money because they don't like giving it away. But if I had millions of pounds, I would be helping everybody around me. My children wouldn't need to buy their own homes, they'd be bought for them. But I'd also give back to people that need. And millionaires now don't believe in doing that.
You know, that tells me that you've experienced these things in the past.
Yeah.
You know what it feels like to be rich and just not care about anything else around you. And what that brought you, what lesson that taught you, was that you were all alone.
Yeah.
You were an outcast. There were only a certain amount of people who would talk to you.
Yeah.
And you learned that lesson. And so,
I think, oh, sorry. I think as well, when you're set in that way, you become selfish. You become cruel to the people that are around you. Whereas
yes,
me and you, we've had our own hardships in life. We've dealt with a lot. we've been through grief, which is something a lot of younger people haven't been through yet. But then we've come out the other side. But guys, grief is a funny thing. You grieve when you lose a relationship because that person have left your life, so there's a big gaping hole.
Mm-hmm.
You grieve when you fall out with your friends because that person who texts you constantly is no longer in your life. And you grieve when you lose a loved one that's passed over. But
Yes.
also you lose a pet, because as most of us know, pets are like our children.
Yeah, sure.
So there's lots of different ways that you face hardships. Hardships don't have to just be about money, but because that's what we call hardship, that's what we look at more than grief. Grief is a hardship as well.
Exactly. And you know, the thing is that when we are here, how many of us have experienced that love at first sight,
Yeah,
that connection with someone across the room?
yeah,
Your eyes meet and it's deja vu.
yeah,
You feel
yeah,
like you have known this person because you have known that person. Your soul family are people that you have, who have been guides in your past lives, who have always been around you in your past lives. There are the group of people that have helped you form the gifts that you have, the lessons that you've learned. They've probably experienced everything in your past lives that you have learned and they have learned. And so you want to take turns to learn a new lesson.
yeah, yeah,
It's easier when you think about this as a schoolroom.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And you have so many lessons that you have to learn. Sometimes you have to be hit over the head
yeah,
hard in order for you to learn that lesson.
yeah. And that's why me and Mia work different, guys. Mia works with past life, whereas I don't. Because for me, the way me and my guide Kathy thinks is you can't change the past, but you can dictate your future. And that's the unique thing about how different psychics work. Because if we all work the same way, it'd be boring for you guys.
Exactly. And literally, we agree before we come down here that we're going to forget everything that we've learned in the past. So you have no idea the lessons you learned before, but you have that outcome in your head already. Like Hazel said, if she had millions of dollars, she would use that money to help others.
Yeah,
And there are many people out there who feel that same way. And I
yeah,
guarantee you that a lot of these people who built these big businesses up believed in the beginning that if they had all of this money, then how many people they would help. And then their lesson came in. Now you have all of this money. What are
yeah,
you going to do with it?
yeah,
Now, I guarantee you, each and every one of them, there is so much fear in their minds that who's going to take my money away from me? What if I stop earning so much money? What if somebody else is better than me and they can make more money and I'm just not as popular as I was before? That fear of loss is great, is just as great as when you lose a loved one. A loved one passes away.
yeah. I done a reading yesterday for a lady who's been a client for many years.
Mhm.
Somebody close to her. We spent about 2 hours chatting where she couldn't understand the process because in her head, she had decided it was time to go as well.
Okay.
because she didn't know how to fill that time now. And guys, that is really, really important to remember when you feel like that. That is actually part of the grieving process.
Another thing to understand is that you're not going anywhere until you've learned your lessons and your purpose has been fulfilled.
Yeah. And the grieving process is so different for everybody.
Yes, it is. Most people they don't start with a deep inner work until something shatters them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And heartbreak can force you to really take a hard look at yourself, the parts that were numb.
Yeah.
And the fears that you avoided, because many of us avoid the fear of losing a loved one.
Yeah. Yeah. And at the present time, a big one is people are fearing themselves dying.
Yes.
And
Go ahead.
A lot of my questions at the moment are, when am I going to die? We can't tell you that.
Right.
Because something that only the universe knows. Because if we knew that, we would be panicking ourselves.
You know, the thing is that we ask ourselves over and over again, why did this person have to die?
Yeah.
Why did this person have to get a terrible illness?
Yeah.
And suffer?
Yeah.
You know, the questions are that was something that you chose. Now, hear me out, because I'm not saying that people chose trauma to come into this world. But let's say that you wanted to experience unconditional love.
Yeah.
And the way that it happened for you to really understand what unconditional love was is to go through an experience of having a terrible illness and those people who surrounded you and were there for you, showing you unconditional love.
Yeah.
Because, and it may not have happened for you if there wasn't that illness, because you don't see it in many ways. You know, you go about your day, you're focused on earning money and building a life, and you go about your day not focusing on the people who mean the most to you.
Yeah. And the other thing is, if you've been manifesting for unconditional love and the universe have done this to you, so to speak, think about manifesting. Because if you're manifesting unconditional love from a partner, you need to be precise when you're asking for that. Because when you ask for, can you show me unconditional love? You're not saying who from.
Exactly. And let's see how I can put this. A heartbreak teaches non-attachment, not coldness, but loving without clinging.
Yeah.
That's a master level soul lesson.
Yeah.
And we may go through many lifetimes before we learn that lesson. Yeah. Because each time we come in, we forget everything from our past. We come in as a clean slate, asking that we have these experiences, that we have this heartfelt love.
And that's why relationships fail, guys. Not because you've necessarily done anything wrong, but because this wasn't meant to be your relationship.
That's true. And also remember that the other person involved has their soul path as well.
Yeah.
And so it may be their lesson at that particular time to be the catalyst in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
To teach you that you were able to love so deeply. And now you know what it feels like to have absolutely unbridled love for someone. That you feel the pain, you know what that love is.
And that's the thing, guys. Everybody gets hurt. Everybody feels this sudden loss of some person that they've loved or something that they've loved. Don't forget, you hit rock bottom. But every time you hit rock bottom, there's a big ladder climbing down that back hole for you to climb back up on so that you can come back on top.
Now that also happens when we think about hardship,
Yes.
financial loss, illness, failure, grief. Okay. In a world without resistance, you never develop patience, resilience, bouncing back, or even compassion. Hardship is like the gym for your soul. Now,
Yeah.
I hate going to the gym. I'm going to be the first one to say that.
I can't remember when I went last.
But the thing is that it's not a physical drain on your body.
Yeah.
It's a physical drain on your soul.
Yes.
It's the gym for your soul.
And
you don't build muscle by floating in a pool.
No.
You build it by lifting something heavy.
Yeah.
And hardship is that weight.
Yeah.
And it makes you gain strength. And here's the beautiful part. Once you've survived real hardship, you become a healer for others. Your pain becomes your credential. When you are there to help others through a difficult hardship, like what many people are going through right now, you become that rock for other people.
Yeah.
And every great spiritual teacher, every profound artist, every truly compassionate person, they've all been through the fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so, okay, go ahead.
I was going to say the thing to remember is even the best of people have been through hardships. Even people you look at and you think, well, they don't look like they have. I can guarantee you they have at some point.
I mean, I can give you a very good example because, like, you look at our politics now, and everybody is seeing the corruption that's been there for years.
Yeah.
And you talk about a specific politician, like, why aren't they arresting him? Why aren't they taking him down? And the reason is because he was put here to uncover all of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of these people who love this particular politician the veil is now being pulled back from their eyes. You may have seen it a long time ago and you didn't follow him, but there were too many people who had not seen it. And now it's just almost undeniable.
Yeah. And just because only now you're seeing it, don't blame yourself for that because they're clever.
Exactly. We don't want to blame the victims.
No.
Okay. Because that's dangerous. If people misunderstand that what we're saying is that, oh, you looked up to this person, you followed this person, it's because you didn't see the things that were going on. And that's because most of us were dealing with our day-to-day lives. We were living our lives.
The one thing to remember, guys, is people like me, like Mia, we only show you what you want to see. We don't show you what goes on behind closed doors.
No.
And that's a massive thing to remember.
You can't focus on my life because you're not living my life. You're not walking in my shoes. And so many of us never would have guessed that the people that we put into power to run our countries were doing so many things in their day-to-day life that hurt people.
Yeah.
And it was hard for a lot of people to believe that that could be possible. But I guarantee you, this was not something that just occurred in the past year. It was not something that just occurred in the past 20 years. This had been going on for a very long time, that they felt comfortable with the role that they were playing, the people that they were pulling into this corruption, the circle they were building.
That's the same as like what's going on with the royal family at the moment.
Absolutely. And you've got to ask yourself, the biggest problem, I think, it's a problem, but it's also a gift.
Yeah.
Is social media. But you cannot let yourself get caught up in the social media, because while you're watching all of the stories about what's going on with the royal family, you're missing what's going on in your own life.
Yeah.
And there may be some resemblance in the things that are going on with the royal family that's happening in your life. But it's easier for you to look at what's happening with them and to say, oh, that this could never happen with me.
Yeah, but it is, and you're not seeing it. But the other thing I want to point out, guys, if you're going through hardship, heartbreak, if you're going through something difficult, don't put this on social media.
Because one of the reasons that if you pay attention is that these things blow up in your face. Social media was not meant to be your physical diary.
Yeah. Okay, for instance, you and your partner argue. We've all done it. Mm-hmm. We chat friends and say, I can't cope with it. I've had enough. It's done. You put that on social media, all your family comes running to make sure you're okay. All your friends turn against your partner. You then get back together and you're left with fighting all around you because nobody agrees with what's happened.
This is a good example. And another good example is literally all of the damage that's being done to the world from the billionaires and the politicians and all of this. And this is across the world. This is not one particular politician or one particular billionaire. Those things had to happen because we need to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to correct it. We need to look at the future that we want to leave to our children. We would have never been able to close those things off if we didn't recognize them, if we didn't open our eyes and face them completely and said, okay, that's enough. We're no longer going to let our young women be victimized and abused and all of these things. We're going to stop this, and we're going to change. Society is interacting with each other. And one of the ways that we have to change this is to recognize that this social media platforms are not good for us to put the day-to-day conversations or thoughts that we have out there for the world to see. Most people think, oh, it's easy being behind the computer where no one can actually see me and know who I am, and I can put out nasty comments and threats to people because nobody really knows who I am. If they were to see me in public, I would never say those things to them.
But if you're putting certain things like myself and my partner have argued, my 3-year-old son was screaming. My mum was pretty quicker, and that's telling people so many things already. That's telling people that there's been an issue. Your 3-year-old son witnessed it all. Your mum lives so close she can be there within minutes. Somebody will work it out who you are.
Yeah.
They like the ID on the internet.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. And if you don't believe that, look at how quickly people find out where somebody lives.
Yeah.
And you're a private citizen. That information is not easily available. But with the sleuths out there today, within an hour, they know just about everything about you. How many people are in your family? And I'm going to be crystal clear.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. When we say that you choose this, it's not an excuse for oppression or for cruelty. No one chooses cruelty. No soul chooses to be tortured. What some spiritual teachers actually say is you choose the circumstances you'll face, but you don't choose how others use their free will.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a person who hurts you, they made their own choice. That's on them.
Yeah.
This framework is only for your own healing. Never to tell someone else, well, you asked for it. That's spiritual bypassing. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's harmful.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
We're experiencing this with the AI tools that are coming out. There was such a great fear about making AI so available to everyone. And rightfully so, because some people who have experienced a trauma turns that trauma into a tool that can be used to hurt many other people.
Yeah. I will never use AI because I don't like it. And I think you can cause so much damage with it as well.
You know, that's the thing. It's almost as if it's a soul contract.
Yeah.
Because you ask for something that will help speed up a process at work. And what that ends up doing is costing you your job. Because now you've created something that makes it easier to do the things that you were doing on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you didn't ask to lose your job.
But you did.
But that was the outcome. You know, we've got to start imagining our future selves because unfortunately, AI is not going away.
No.
And if we can learn to use it for the betterment of society, then we will go into a brighter future.
Yeah.
But there's no guarantees that some people are going to use it for the betterment and some people are going to use it for their benefit.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like AI because when we're typing out readings, like when we do email readings, AI offer to come in and change it for me. I don't want that because my work is authentic. You know, and it's things like that that I think AI is going to be dangerous.
Absolutely, because it will literally change your words.
Yeah.
And that takes away from your empathy.
Yeah. Yeah. And everybody I read for know my spelling is rubbish anyway. So they know they're going to have to make out some words.
I didn't say that.
Well, you know yourself. You know, but that's the way I work. If I had everything spelt correctly, everybody'd be like, aye, what's she up to?
We all just have to understand that we came here to grow, not to stay safe, okay,
Yeah.
not to stay small, and certainly not to be numb.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all about the growth. So you choose to be human with all its mess and magic, so your soul could learn what can only be learned in the dark, how
Yes.
to shine.
What's in the dark needs to come to the light.
Exactly. And I want to say that if this episode touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today.
Yeah.
And remember, your hardest chapter is not your end. It
No.
might just be your new beginning.
Because I want you to think something. My nan always said it to me. When we rock bottom, we touch in the ground. We are literally walking on the earth under our feet. But you know what? Flowers grow in dirt.
Ah, beautiful.
So
You
you
know,
rock
we
bottom.
didn't put,
I
we
know,
didn't,
and we have time now. So, guys, next week you'll have a mini reading. I'll do
okay.
3 cards. I'll do a mini reading next week because we're
Okay.
going to run out of time.
Yes. Okay. So I hope that you all got something from this episode today.
Yeah,
And remember, we are here to help you get on your path, recognize the lessons that you need to learn, help you get through the hardships and the
definitely.
heartbreak. It's
Definitely.
never been easy for anyone. And it's always better when you have a friend to go along
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
So
And we'll always be here for you.
please feel free to like and share the video and leave a comment down below.
Definitely.
Leave a question. You know, we'd love to hear from you. Okay? Until next time, goodbye.
Bye.